Hello my fellow rebels and welcome to another video taking a look at the Skywalker Saga prequels. We previously had a look at the reasons why the WhatCulture Star Wars community hated the Phantom Menace, but now it's time to take a look at the reasons why you loved it. I'm CJ, this is WhatCulture, and these are 8 reasons you loved the Phantom Menace. Reason number 1, the trailer. There were rumours that a new Star Wars film was coming out, and fans were so excited when they finally found out when the trailer was going to be released. I went to the local cinema about 10 times over the space of a weekend just to see the Star Wars trailer. It got to the point where staff just accepted I'd be walking out of one movie and walking into another just to watch the trailer. It was really exciting because we were getting an introduction to brand new characters, brand new planets, and of course seeing a young Obi-Wan Kenobi and an even younger Yoda. The trailer was available to download from the Star Wars website, but back then it was the sucky AOL dial-up and that wasn't the best. To have my first experience of Star Wars on the big screen, even though it was just a trailer, was amazing, and it is something I will never forget to this day. Reason number 2, the pod racing. Say what you want about the pod race scene, and even I agree, watching it back, it was a little bit long, but the experience in the cinema when the movie came out was mind-blowing. Hearing the pods blasting through the speakers and the fast-paced action was one of the highlights of the Phantom Menace. The sound design and the visuals were like nothing I'd seen before in cinema. It also gave us our first look at Anakin's skill in using his link to the Force to keep up with his fellow racers. I really enjoyed the pod racing. It was something different and something new to the Star Wars universe, and I even remember the old arcade version of the pod racing where you'd sit in the little pod yourself, and it was an absolute blast. And if you ever see any of those arcade machines in the wild, I totally recommend having a shot. Reason number 3, Darth Maul. The Phantom Menace introduced us to one of the coolest looking Sith Lords in the history of Star Wars, the one and only Darth Maul. Even though he didn't have much to say in the Phantom Menace, that doesn't mean he didn't have an impact. With 2 amazing battle scenes and giving us an intimidating enemy throughout, it's a shame we didn't see more of Darth Maul in future episodes. George Lucas made the right choice when casting someone with a martial arts and stunt background by bringing us Ray Park, who originally was meant to be the stunt coordinator for the film. With his blend of physicality and martial arts, it really brought some power to the Sith and really put our Jedis through their paces. Quality was definitely better than quantity when it comes to Darth Maul on screen, and he had a commanding force. Get it? That's the one bad joke of the video. But no, he did have a commanding force in every scene he appeared in, which leads us very nicely to reason number 4, Duel of Fates. The greatest thing to come from the Phantom Menace is without a doubt John Williams' Duel of Fates. It was recorded by the London Symphony Orchestra and London Voices. The Duel of Fates was originally meant to be for the closing credits only, but George Lucas loved it so much he kept it and used it for the battle between Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. The piece became not just the sound for the Phantom Menace, but the sound for the prequels and Star Wars movies moving forward. You can even hear it in Episode 2 and Episode 3 in just slightly different forms. It's impossible not to get chills when the choir kicks in when Maul reveals that second blade. No matter if you love or hate the Phantom Menace, no Star Wars fan can deny the brilliance that is John Williams. And at number 5, Jar Jar Binks. Nah, I'm just kidding. But now I have your attention, don't forget to click the subscribe button, and you can also follow us over on Instagram. But don't do it for me. Do it for him. Do it for Grogu.
Bad baby.
And now the actual number 5, Qui-Gon Jinn. One of the greatest Jedi to grace the screens of Star Wars is of course Qui-Gon, and we only got him for one film. This is once again quality over quantity to help move Anakin and Obi-Wan's story along, but I just wish we could have had Qui-Gon in at least Episode 2. Many fans say if Qui-Gon had stayed with Anakin, he'd never have turned to the dark side. And I've got to agree, Qui-Gon was confident, headstrong, and did not listen to the Jedi Council and focused on using the Force to help make his decisions rather than other Jedi. While he may not have appeared in any more films, well, apart from his voice appearing in Episode 2 and in Rise of the Skywalker, but he has come back in the Obi-Wan series recently and in the animated shows The Clone Wars and Jedi Tales. tales, just to help us get our Qui-Gon fix. Reason number 6, a new audience for Star Wars. Old Star Wars fans may not have enjoyed the prequels, but the Phantom Menace did something important, and that was bringing a new generation of Star Wars fans to the universe, helping to keep the franchise alive. Without the Phantom Menace, we wouldn't have got more of Anakin's story and the amazing animated series The Clone Wars. Episode 1 may not have had a major impact in rewatches on the story overall, but without this new generation of Star Wars fans, we wouldn't have Star Wars as we have now. We've also got some amazing games, Lego sets that we grew up playing with. We also got Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. He may not have been great in episode 1, but by the time of the Obi-Wan series, he had made Obi-Wan his own, and I am here for more Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan. And I've got to say, I'm glad episode 1 exists, even if it's not my favourite in the Skywalker saga, but without it, we'd not have the opportunity for more movies and shows and media in the Star Wars universe, and for that, I am thankful the Phantom Menace exists. The Naboo Starfighters. One of the coolest ships in the Star Wars universe. Don't worry, Millennium Falcon, you're still my favourite. But the Naboo Starfighter, or as it should be called, the N1 Starfighter, is a single-seated ship flown by the Naboo security forces. These ships were used to protect Queen Amidala's ship and to fight the Trade Federation in the Phantom Menace. The N1 became very popular with fans very quickly and has appeared in many Star Wars media since then, including new scenes added to Return of the Jedi during the celebration scene. For me personally, one of the most exciting things for me was unlocking it in the very old game Star Wars Starfighter, and of course we can't forget that it is now the go-to ship for our beloved Mandalorian and young Grogu. Before we get to the final reason, let me know your favourite parts in the comments below, and also keep an eye on our Star Wars community posts where you can share your favourite bits from all of the Star Wars media. And our final reason, Ian McDiarmid. In my opinion, Ian McDiarmid was perfectly cast as Emperor Palpatine, or in this case, Senator Palpatine. Showing us how he became the Emperor and commanding the Empire alongside the fall of Anakin Skywalker was a genuine surprise and one of the most interesting parts of the Phantom Menace, and the following prequels. Seeing McDiarmid play one of the smartest people in the Star Wars universe, mixing that with seeing Sidious's amazing foresight and having such an amazing long-term plan in place to meet his end game, while also controlling lots of different groups and people against one another just to get his end goal in sight. Seeing McDiarmid show that duplicity of Sidious and Palpatine, knowing what was to come, was one of my favourite stories in The Phantom Menace and the following sequels. I think he was cast perfectly, and just showing that side of Palpatine was not something we ever expected, but was certainly good movie magic. So that brings us to the end of the video. Let me know what you think. What did you love about the Phantom Menace? Or click that little button to the side there and you can let me know what you didn't like about the Phantom Menace with other WhatCulture fans. Remember to keep an eye out for more videos like these, but for now, may the Force be with you.